Hello, good morning. How are you? My name is Ernest Bukenya, student at Victoria University, pursuing a bachelor's in IT. The purpose of this video is to show you how to terminate a crossover and straight through cable, Ethernet cable. The straight through cable is used to join devices or connect devices that are different. For example, if you're connecting your laptop or desktop to a switch, you need a straight through. When you're connecting your maybe a switch to a router, you need a straight through. However, when you're connecting devices that are the same, for example, a switch to a switch, you need a crossover cable. If you're connecting a router to a router, you need a crossover cable. However, the newer devices that are coming out are pretty intelligent, that even when you use a straight through in between a switch and a switch, or between a router and a router, it could work. But however, best practice is it should be a crossover cable. Now I'll start by showing you what you need to come up with that. You need some Cat6 cable, like I have some here. You need some Cat6 cable. You need some RJ45 connectors, and then you need a crimping tool, and then you're good to go. Now you need to first start by unshielding the cable. We will start with a straight through cable. A straight through cable, it's basically what is terminated on part A of the cable is what is terminated on part B of the cable. That's why it's called the straight through. So the cables maintain their positions on side A and then side B of the cable. So you start by unshielding your cable. You can use your cutter has my crimping tool has some blades just below here, so you can simply just do this. You need to be careful not to cut the cables inside as you do this. Okay, you're able to remove the outside shielding, and then there's also this middle shielding that we will not need as we terminate. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut it still using my crimping tool, and then we'll need to untwist the cables. Yes, so I'll untwist the cables because I have 4 twisted pairs here. This is one way of straightening them up. After untwisting them, you need them straight. So I'll go ahead and untwist. Okay, then untwist this one as well. Okay, so we start organizing them, and in a straight through we start with the white orange, then the orange. Okay, then we get the white green. Okay, then we get the blue and white blue in between there, and then we get our green next to it. Then we get the white orange, and then sorry, the white brown, and then the brown at the end. Okay, so this gives me something like this, as you can see. Now when I hold it, it should be something like this. Now you need to make sure that you maintain the order, and even as you place these in the RJ45 connector, they should not lose this particular order, otherwise your cable won't work. So after ensuring that they're straight, you go ahead and now you need to make sure that this shield enters partially into the connector to make a uniform, a unique clean termination. So you go ahead and cut this off, okay, at a good length. Okay, it's cut off. I just look at my order again, and my cables are still in order. My pairs are still in order. I hold this with the coppers facing me, and then I'll go ahead and slide these cables in, but ensuring that the order is maintained. Otherwise, the moment I lose the order, it will not work. So yes, as I look at my order, yes, my cables are in order. So I slide it in all the way and ensure that they are well placed in. They have also made it to this level, because the coppers will be pushed in by the crimping tool to hold into the cables. So I go ahead and use my tool to do that. Okay, so and there we are. So one side is terminated, a clean termination. With this, there's this part here that is holding into the entire cable, so the connector is firm, going nowhere, and then yeah, so it's good to go, as you can see. So with a straight through, we apply the same we do the same for the other side. So I'll just go ahead and do that off camera to avoid having a lengthy video. So here we are with our straight through cable, well terminated. If you could just look at the order of cables on both sides, it's the same. So this is our straight through cable, and as we said earlier on, this can be used between a laptop and maybe a switch, or a desktop and a switch, depending on which device you're holding, as long as the devices are different. But in case you're using same devices, for example, if you're connecting a laptop to a laptop, you might need a crossover. Though, like I told you, it's important to note that the newer devices are smart enough to work even without they're able to work with the straight through. They're that intelligent. So let's go now to the crossover cable. The crossover cable, there is a pair that changes on one end. When you look at the position of white green and green, and then white orange and orange, it swaps positions at the different points, at point A and the point B. So just like I'll show you, let me just unstrip this. We're going to do one end. Okay, so here we are, removing our shield. Okay, it's off. So we cut off the middle. As you do this, please be careful not to cut the cables, because it's important. In case you damage the cables, your cable won't work. So I'll go ahead and cut this. Okay, so I'll start untwisting, as you can see. Untwist the other pair. You can also, if funds allow, you can always have a cable tester just to verify your cable using a cable tester. Otherwise, at times when you have a messed up cable and just plug it into the device, you may damage the port in case your cable is maybe poorly terminated. I mean, you could make the wrong connections. So now on this side, we will start with white green. Okay, we have white green and green. Then we will have white orange coming in at number 3. Okay, I'll just untwist this a little more. Okay, white green coming in at number 3. Then we will have blue coming in at number 4, and white blue at number 5. And then we will have orange, solid orange coming in at number 6. And then we will have white brown coming in at number 7 and brown at number 8. So this is one side of the crossover cable. So yes, here we are. I'll just straighten it up, cut, and then fix into the connector. So I'll go ahead and cut to length, straight in. Yeah, get my connector, make sure the coppers are facing me, and then I'll slide in my cables, ensuring that I maintain the order. It is important to maintain the order. It is important to ensure that your cables are not damaged. And then yeah, it's in. So I'll just go ahead and crimp this. So I have one end just like this terminated. So let's go ahead and do the other side. So here we are. I have untwisted the second side. Remember, we've terminated this side, and here this side we started with white green. So because it's a crossover cable, like I told you, some pairs change. So this side will start with the white orange, then the orange, then we will have the white green. Sorry, we will have the white green coming in at number 3. So you realize the other side we started with the white green, but this time round it has shifted position with the orange pair. So we'll go ahead, after we'll have then the solid blue and then the white blue. That is up to number 5. If you don't know this order, you can always Google it out. It is all over the. Then we'll have solid green coming in at 7, then white brown, and then brown. So the pairs that don't change position is the blue pair and the brown pair. Otherwise, the white orange, green, and white green change pair. So I'll pull them a bit and try to flatten them to ensure that I have yes, my order is clean. So I'll go ahead and cut them to length. Okay, after cutting it to length, I'll use this, and remember I told you the coppers face you. So I'll slide it in, ensuring that my cables are in order, and yes, they are. So I'll simply push it in. Once in, I ensure that I can see them here. I don't know if the camera can, my camera is poor, but you make sure that they are able to make it here, and you make sure that your shield, part of your shield, has entered the connector to make it very clean. So I'll go ahead and crimp. Okay, and there we have it. We have a crossover cable. I don't know if the camera can allow. I'll just try to face this to you, and you'll be able to see that at the beginning side of this we have the white orange pair, while at the beginning side of this we have the white green and green pair. So in other words, those pairs have switched position. And then for the straight through that we terminated first, which is this one here, what happened on side A is what happened on side B, so they are pretty more the same. So basically that's it. That's how you terminate the cables. Thank you very much for watching.